Okay, so this is compounded growth. It's a relatively simple unit. Pretty much you only need to know three formulas. So the first one is A equals P 1 plus or minus R to the T power. The second equation is A equals P 1 plus or minus R over N to the N times T power. And the third equation is A equals PE to the R of T power, also known as PERT. So I'll just go over what means what in each formula. In the first, so the A is the new amount. The P is the original amount. The R is the rate. Only just remember when they're going to give it to you in a percent, just remember to move the decimal place over to the left 2 spots. And then T means the time, which is relatively simple. Next is this one. So pretty much it stays the same, only there's an introduction of an N. And this N means the number. So the N means the number of times per year the interest compounds. And this will usually be pretty obvious because it'll literally say compounded so-and-so. And some of the most common ones that they say are quarterly, which means 4, and monthly, which means 12. It's not limited to these, but these are the ones that I found to be most common. And then with A equals PERT, it's the same as the other two equations, but the E is pretty much just a value, just like pi, and there's a button in your calculator for it. Just press second division sign and it'll pop up. Okay, so we'll just get started then. Okay. A car is currently worth $9,250. The car has been depreciating over the last 10 years at a rate of 12% per year. How much did the owner pay for the car when it was first purchased? Okay, so first, these numbers stand out to me, and pretty much I'm not seeing any n value in there. It doesn't say continuously, which is when you use A equals PRT. I'll write that down. So that just means it's going to be this formula. So it's going to be A equals P 1 plus or minus R of T. Now since it's depreciating, that means it's going to be a negative value. So disregard the plus sign for now. And if it said appreciating or anything pretty much with a positive connotation, then it would be plus. But this one says appreciating, so it's minus. So then it's currently worth $9,250. That's telling me that that's after it depreciated, so that's going to be our A value. And the 12%, obviously, because it's percent, it's going to be our rate, but just remember to move the decimal place over 2 spots. And obviously, since it says years, the T is going to be 10. Now, pretty much, we just plug it in. Okay, so we're trying to find the original value of the car. So first, I'm just going to do 1 minus 0.2. So that's 0.88. And I'm just going to raise that to the 10th power. So that number is 0.2785, whatever. And then just divide 9,250 by that number. And our answer should be 33,213. And since we're talking about money, just always assume that it's going to be to the 100th place in decimals. So it's going to be 33,213.53. Okay. So that was easy enough. That's pretty much going to be like an average question, I would say. Okay, so next one. $2,000 is invested at an interest rate of 2.75% compounded continuously. What is the balance in the account after 4 years? Okay, so this is what I'm underlining. So, since it said continuously, we know that it's going to be a PERT. So yeah. And so since it's invested at $2,000, we know that that's going to be the p-value. And obviously it's a percent again, so it's going to be the rate, but it's going to be 0.0275. And the t is going to be 4. So it's going to be a equals 2,000 e to the 0.0275 times 4 power. So pretty much this is going to be easier than what most questions are going to be like, but pretty much for this question you just have to plug it into your calculator. And our answer is 2,232.57. Okay, so yeah, that was easy enough. Usually they're gonna make you try to find another value, or else you're just plugging in, but yeah. Okay, this, pretty much, if you can do this problem, you're gonna be able to do any problem. This is gonna be the hardest it's gonna get. Okay, so if you deposit $5,000 into an account paying 6% annual interest compounded monthly, how long until there is $8,000 in the account? Okay, so since it says compounded monthly, if we know that it's going to be an A equals P 1 plus R over N and T. And it's asking us how long. So we know that this won't be a T value, and it'll be an N value instead. So our A value is going to be the 8,000. And our P value is going to be the 5,000. Since that's after it was appreciated, and this was the original. The R is going to be 0.06. The N is going to be 12, and the T is a mystery. Okay. So let's just plug that into our equation first. Okay. I just kind of added that. So here, I'll just do the middle step really quick. So you can see the answer right here, but we'll just walk through it anyway. So just pretty much do 1 plus. If you don't know about this key, you can do alpha window 1, and that'll just give you a fraction. So you can do 0.06 over 12 and just add them together, and that'll give you 1.005. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is get rid of this 5,000. So we're just going to divide it out. That's going to give us 1.6. And so all we're going to have left is the 1.005 to the 12t. Okay, so now our variable is in the exponent. And in order to undo an exponent, you need to do a log. So yeah, as much as you hate logs, you have to do it for this problem. So the way I like doing it is by logging both sides. So you'll just log this side, and the one that's already, the numbers that are already not an exponent are already the base, will stay with the log. So it'll be log of 1.6. And here, since it's an exponent, it'll be moved over in front of the log. And it'll be like this. So these numbers stay attached to the log while this one moves in front of it. Now that we have both of these in logs, we can pretty much just divide this out to get 12t by itself. Okay, and that's going to give us log of 1.6 divided by log of 1.005. Alright, that's going to give us 94.2355 ... doesn't matter, equals 12t, and obviously now you just divide by the 12. And that is going to give me 7.852 ... equals t. Since we're talking about money, just make sure to round to the nearest hundredth. And that's our answer. Okay, yeah, so pretty much if you can do that, you're going to be able to do any of the problems. This is going to be the hardest it's going to get with the logs. Let's say up here, if you didn't have anything else, if you had all this, but you didn't have the t value, then you would also have to log this, but you can natural log it instead of regular logging it. But honestly, if you regular log it, it's going to be the same exact thing anyways. So yeah, that is compounded growth. I hope you had a fun time, and I hope you had fun learning. Okay, goodbye.